Hey everyone, I am going to be going over how you can master your introduction in final expense telesales or any insurance phone sales for that matter. This is the most important part of your presentation, and this is why most people struggle selling insurance over the phone. So first off, if you find value in my content, please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, turn on post notifications. You'll be alerted every time I put out some good content. I also want to give a shout out to Gage and Moises for having me on their Zoom call to run a training with their team. And I also want to give a shout out to Dennis and Rich who reached out to me through email. We talked for a little bit. I covered some good stuff with them. So if any of you would like a free 15 to 20 minute training or consultation with me to go over anything final expense telesales, just shoot me an email at jve@thejve.com. That's jve@thejve.com. We can set up a time over Zoom to have a little meeting. So what I'm going to go over here is the introduction, okay? You have to get the introduction down. And what I've found with new agents in telesales is that they don't really struggle getting people to answer. What can make it seem like no one's answering the phone is if you're not able to get through the greeting. Because sometimes when we have a lead, right, and we get a lead and we call them, we think that they're just going to be like, oh, yeah, I've been waiting for you. I got my checkbook right here, and thank goodness you called me because I wanted to get insurance so bad. But that's not the case, as you all know, if you've been in final expense telesales. So how it usually works is you call someone and they're not happy, right? You get the, I already have insurance, or I don't remember that, or I don't want it, I'm not interested. But what you gotta realize, you gotta understand our clients are getting hammered on the phone all day long. The senior citizen group, the baby boomer group, they're getting crushed for ads for Medicare, Medicaid, insurance, warranties. It's all day long they get bombarded. So you have to separate yourself from other people, okay? How do you do that? One, tonality. Your tonality has to be on point. You have to be enthusiastic. You have to be excited. You have to sound like you know what you're talking about. Even if you don't know what you're talking about, you're not excited, you have to sound that way, okay? So enthusiasm and tonality are extremely important. And then also tempo. So tempo means how fast you talk. So we're communicating pretty fast right now. I'm talking to you pretty fast, or else you'd probably log off the video. When you're talking to your clients, you have to slow it down. You have to say just a few words at a time. Take pauses so they understand and you can clearly communicate the message you're trying to put across. I hear a lot of new agents on the phone and they get people hanging up on them, not just because they don't want to talk to them, but the agent's talking too fast. So the client can't really understand why they're on the phone, and they don't really know what they're on the phone about. They just say not interested and they have no idea what the person's even talking about. So we primarily work telemarketing leads here. If you want telemarketing leads, I can hook you up with a couple sources. Just reach out to me. Those are for outbound dialing. Telemarketing leads are the best. Telemarketing callback leads are the best for telesales. You have to get the greeting down though. So it sounds something like this for enthusiasm. And this is in my script, which if anybody wants a copy of that, you can reach out to me for that too. You're like, hey, Justin, right? Just hey, Justin, not hi, Mr. Von Meigen or anything like that. Or is Justin available if I'm calling myself? Ring, ring, hello. Hey, Justin? Yes. Hey, Justin, it's Justin. How you doing today, man? So enthusiasm, excitement, good tempo, good tonality. Person says, all right. Like, hey, awesome, glad to hear that. I'm with Senior Life Services, and the reason for my call is a little while back, you spoke with one of our company's representatives about the state-approved burial programs. And you mentioned that your favorite color is blue. Does that ring a bell? So you notice my tempo was slow enough for someone to understand what I'm trying to communicate. And I was excited and enthusiastic about it. To nail this down, you're going to have to record yourself. So I've recorded myself on the phone a bunch of times doing this when I started. And also, if you use VanillaSoft, it has call recordings in there. So you can actually go into VanillaSoft and listen to some recordings to see how you sound, because you have to listen to how you sound to know how to make the changes, okay? So that's the greeting. Now, what usually happens? 1 out of 10 is going to say, oh yeah, perfect, let's talk about insurance. Most of them aren't. So why, you want to expect the worst and hope for the best. And then if you practice and train to be able to handle any resistance you get in the beginning, when they don't give you any resistance, it's going to be easy. Now the enthusiasm is going to help you push through any of the resistance and objections that you get. So why would someone object in the greeting? They filled out a lead form. They know someone's about to call them. They said that they wanted to call back. Well, they push back because they're scared. They just don't know you. So don't get offended if someone says, I'm not interested, I don't want insurance, I don't remember. Don't get offended. Don't blame the lead. Don't get mad at the lead vendor or whatever. Get mad at yourself and change your tactics. So when someone gives that pushback, right, I'm not interested, I already have insurance. They're not really, especially they already have insurance. That's the most BS thing. Like, you can have more than one life insurance policy. Most of our clients don't even know what they have. And they say they have insurance and they don't even have insurance. We've had that happen so many times where clients actually lie about having insurance because they just want to get you off the phone. And then once we get to where we're asking them about insurance, which is in the fact finding in the script, not in the beginning, we understand that they don't have anything. So we're going to handle these one at a time. Number one, I already have insurance. Oh, I already got that. Hey, no worries. I'm glad that you have it taken care of. I'd be surprised if you didn't. But most people I speak with find this information really valuable. So I see here you mentioned that your beneficiary would be your daughter. Is that right? So you want to handle it like I did, acknowledge it, and not really make a big deal out of it, and then ask a question about something in the lead information. Okay? You can rewind that to listen to it again. But all I really did there was say, hey, I understand that you have insurance. Glad you do. Not surprised. Everyone I speak with does, but they find this valuable. Now, what that does, it puts them at ease, okay? Because what they're trying to tell you is, I don't want to spend more money. I don't want to spend money on insurance, right? Because if someone says, I already have insurance, it doesn't mean that they're full. Like, I don't know anybody who truly would not want to leave their kids more money at some point, right? So what they're really telling you is, I don't trust you enough to want to talk to you about this stuff. I don't trust you enough to want to buy something from you yet, because they know that you sell insurance. Okay, so that's all we're doing there. We're handling them, putting the buyer at ease. That is the whole purpose of the introduction in the greeting, is to put the buyer at ease so that we can get to the rest of the presentation. If you get this greeting down, the rest gets a lot smoother. I look at it as if you're traveling to the moon, right? So you're going to use most of the fuel leaving Earth's atmosphere, leaving gravity. That's the introduction. You get to really hammer it in. The rest of the presentation, smooth sailing. You got to turn the jets on again at the end when you want to land on the moon or when you want to close. Okay, so that is one thing that you run into. Another thing that you're going to run into is people are going to say, I'm not interested. They don't even know what you're talking about. Okay, you have to go slowly because you don't want to get the not interested from them not knowing what you're saying, right? Or not interested, meaning I'm not interested in you. You're not exciting enough. It's where the tonality comes into play. You have to nail that. You want, when someone says I'm not interested, hey, I hear what you're saying. Totally understand. You know, it's just my job to get you the information in the shortest amount of time possible. You can make a decision whenever you're ready. I see you mentioned that your daughter's your beneficiary. Is that right? Or I see you mentioned that you're over there in Lansing, Michigan. How's it going over there? You a little cold this time of year? So, same thing. I just acknowledged it, moved on, and kind of asked the question. That's it. Don't make a big deal out of it. Okay, do not make a big deal out of these things that they're going to give you. The next one that they're going to say is, I don't remember. Okay, now when someone says, I don't remember, I take on a completely apologetic standpoint. Now, I don't remember that. No, I didn't do that. Hey, I totally understand. Look, it's my fault I haven't gotten back to you sooner. We've had an overwhelming response in your area, and I'm really glad we're on the phone right now. I'm sorry. You mentioned that you're over in Lansing. Is that right? How's the weather over there right now? So you kind of, I did the same thing. I acknowledged it and then just moved forward and kept going in my presentation. So when, back to the I already have insurance thing though, I forgot to mention this. So when they have insurance, it's so easy. When they say they do, most agents want to jump into the, well, what do you have? What company do you have it with? When did you get it? How long ago? Do not ask that in the greeting because you don't have the right to yet, okay? So people are going to lie right there. And the reason why you don't want to ask what they have is because if they don't have anything at all or they don't know what they have, they're going to either feel like they lied to you or they're going to feel stupid, okay? So just acknowledge, really cool, you already have insurance, glad you do, move on, okay? And then in the fact finding that you'll see in the script, in a presentation, the sales process, right? It goes greeting, introduction, and then fact finding, okay, or intelligence gathering, where you ask some questions about to figure out the sale. And that part is where you figure out, okay, who do you have insurance with? How much do you spend every month? What company? Stuff like that. And if you need to, you can call the other company on a 3-way phone call. But there's so many people that we sell multiple policies to. So when someone says they already have insurance, it's not really valid because they can always add something. Okay. So once again, the introduction, the greeting is huge. You just want to get on common ground with the buyer. That's it. You want to be able to push through the resistance that you're going to get. And how do you do that? You do it with tonality. You do it with tempo. And you do it by mastering those responses that I just covered with you there. If you like those, check in the description. I'm going to have a link to a rebuttals website. So it's not mobile friendly. You can't use it on your cell phone, but you have to have it on a computer. You click it, a big screen pops up. It's got a bunch of buttons with different objections that you'll get. You click on the one that you get, and you got a response there to just come back to. So check that out. It works really, really well for my team. And once again, if you'd like a free 15 and 20-minute coaching consultation session, just send me an email at jve@thejve.com. I hope this helped you guys. Listen, this is the biggest thing that new agents struggle with in telesales is getting through the greeting. So practice, 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 role play. Let's train on it. Let's drill this and get it in because this is the key to your success in telesales.